What's up guys, it's your host Spartanic Arts DxD, back with another high school DxD related video. And today we have what if Issei was betrayed and became a god, part 4. Let's try to hit 1,000 likes please, and if you guys want to know exactly when I upload such my upload schedule, click the little blue button right next to the subscribe button. Thank you so much to Robert Block / Rob the King, Jorge Alvarez or George Alvarez, Atomic Warlord 58 Toner, and Lachlan Yates for becoming a balance breaker. That is the highest membership tier in the membership tier. Thank you guys so much for the support. Seriously, you guys are absolutely amazing. If you guys want to know, if you guys want what ifs on Goku, go subscribe to my second channel, linked down in the description below. Thank you so much for the support. 30K soon. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Chapter 10, Issei's POV. Today is a beautiful day indeed, as I am on my way towards Ko Academy with my princess. I swear we're going to be late to school, Mordred said. Says the one who literally burned our food while cooking, Issei replied. Mordred then playfully punches me on the shoulders. She seems to be having a good day. Suddenly I swear that I saw a pair of red eyes looking at me. It must have been a familiar of either Sona or Rias. No, Rias is familiar as a bat, which doesn't have red eyes. It must be Sona's. Can you feel that, darling? Mordred replies. I can. Must be the familiar of Sona, Issei said. The best course of action is to take his Izakam to avoid suspicion. I suggest not make any other assassination missions for a week, Mordred says. She does have a point, although 1 week is a bit too much for me, without seeking the blood of the bad guys. As we were chatting, Sona walks towards us, waving her hands. It seems we meet again, Mordred, and you too, Issei, Sona replied. I didn't expect you to see this soon, so we have a couple of this chess match, Mordred said. Sona then slightly chuckles. This isn't good. She's a lot more different than I last saw her. I was Rias's pawn. She was supposed to be stoic, but today she has this glint in her eyes. It's so unnerving. Maybe I'm seeing things, but the bell goes off indicating the start of homeroom. It seems we have to leave. It was fun being in your company, Sona, Issei said. Third POV. As Issei left towards his class with Mordred, Sona looks at Issei as a creepy smile makes its way towards her face. I'll make you mine, Issei, Sona says. With that, Sona leaves her class with her stoic demeanor, replacing the creepy smile from before. Time skip. Currently, Issei is seen on his room reading a book about mystic eyes while Mordred is seen in the kitchen cooking. Mystic eyes of petrification. I wish I had this one. It would have been useful for killing multiple targets. Instead, I just got a lame but overpowered mystic eyes, Issei said. Suddenly, an indigo-colored glyph forms above Issei's ears, earning a look of amusement at the glyph. Mr. Ketamine here, Issei says. The moment these words escape his mouth, a dark chuckle is heard from an unknown person. It seems you're doing fine, Issei, my boy. It's good to hear from you, my old man. How are the dragon apple farms doing? Issei says. Good. The yield has been doubled thanks to my research on dragon apples. You want one? He replied. If you can, send a mountain full of it, Issei says. A loud laughter is heard from the unknown's person, earning a small chuckle from Issei. Now, jokes aside, do you know there's a peace conference between the biblical factions? Yes, I know. Sir Zex invited me as the Dragon's faction representative and hired me for the protection of his sister. That damn Siscon never changes, does he? Also, I'd like to know about your whereabouts. Silence ensues as neither of them responds for a minute, then Issei lets out a sigh. Tanin, I respect you a lot. That's why you're the two people who know about me, at least a bit, but I don't take orders from you. I will execute my will according to my plan, so stop persuading me from revealing my location. The person now introduced Tanin's size. I did expect this. Don't think you're being a bit harsh on this old man, Tanin says. I'm being kind, old man. If I was harsh, you wouldn't be in one piece. Trust me, I'm far from being harsh, Issei said. We're getting out of topic, Tanin replied. Okay, I'll attend the peace conference, but I'll have my brother accompany me, Issei says. A loud laughter is heard as Tanin laughs his ass off of hearing an irritated smile from Issei. You have a mate? So who's the lucky lady? Tanin says. Her name is Mordred Pentadragon, the Knight of Treachery, Issei says. What the hell? Tanin says. Tanin instantly shouts, making Issei yelp. What the fuck? This isn't possible. was supposed to be dead long ago. Wait, is she a female? And how did a human survive that long? Tanin said. Calm down and take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale, Issei said. Tell me now, Tanin said. Well, she isn't dead because of her gaining partial immortality after her duel with King Arthur, and she is female, Issei said. Be more specific, Tanin said. I am specific, Issei replied. Anyways, should I send Bova to peace conference for your safety? Tanin said. Issei rolls his eyes and lets out a piss of a growl. Are you implying that I can't protect myself? You're hurting my pride, Issei said. I'll take that as a no. Don't forget to visit the old man later, Tanin said. Sure. I'll also bring my maid. I've been planning out on her to take a date after the peace conference tomorrow, Issei said. That sounds fine. Also, Bova said hi, Tanin said. Tell him that next time we meet, we'll have a good old spar, Issei said. Sure. I'll take my leave. Devil work is really tiring, Tanin said. See you later, old man, Issei replies. The glyph disappears as Issei then proceeds to read his book with focus while Mordred yells from the kitchen. Shit, I burned the food, Mordred says. Hearing that, Issei sweat drops as the thought of burnt stew as his dinner. This never gets old. Guess I should cook this time. Indeed you should, Dreg says. Time skip. Currently both Issei and Mordred are seen at the dining table with delicious bowl of ramen near both of them. Do you like my cooking, my highness? Issei turns around only to be met with Mordred eyeing the ramen with a face of ecstasy. It'll do just fine, Mordred said. Well, then, bon appetit. Bon appetit, Mordred replies. Mordred then takes a bite of the ramen, soon a face of pure ecstasy, as she then proceeds to finish the bowl in a minute, making Issei jaw drop. Seconds, please, Mordred said. Sure, here you go, Issei replied. Mordred. Japanese food sure is amazing, Mordred said. Time skip. Mordred is seen on the dining table with numerous bowls around her, as a depressed Issei looked lingering on his face. Bring me another bowl of ramen, Mordred said. That was the 5th bowl of ramen. Are you sure you want another one, Issei said. Give me one more, please, Mordred replied. Mordred then flashes her secret power, the puppy eyes, making Issei flustered. Must resist, damn it, I can't resist this. Nope, must resist, Issei says. Focus, channel on your inner puppy eyes, make him obey you, Mordred said. Mordred then flashes an even cuter puppy smile, making him blush even harder. Your eyes can deceive you, don't trust them, but I can't resist, Issei said. Please, fine, this is the last one. Mind tricks don't work on me, Dreg said. Do I have to remind you that you had 3 years of death training? Issei sarcastically laughed, making Mordred confused, but then Dreg yells, making another concerned. First rule of death's training, do not talk about death's training, Dreg says. Is he alright? Mordred replied. I think I've reawakened his buried trauma, Issei said. I feel bad for him, Mordred replied. Don't be worried, he will be alright. Although I think maybe I should have taken him on a supernatural counselor, maybe then he'll be alright, Issei said. I don't think any counselor would remain sane after inspecting our poor Dreg, Mordred said. Maybe I'll give it a try. First rule of death's training. Do not talk about death's training, Dreg said. POV, now we're with Rias. Both Rias and Akino are seen outside of the shrine as Rias' look of irritation, while Akino just shrugs at Rias' attitude. Why is it taking so long? Rias said. Don't be like that, Rias. He will be here soon, so don't be like that, or you'll get wrinkles, Akino said. Whatever, Rias replied. As they are seen speaking, a huge amount of divine aura enters the shrine as a golden light shines on the shrine. My apologies for being late. I hope I did not antagonize you. As the light fades away, a blonde man in his late 20s with a halo and wearing a royal attire while radiating calm divine aura appears in front of them. No, you did not, Lord Michael. Don't worry about it, Akino says. On to business. My brother did inform me of your visit, but may I ask you the reason as the governor of Ko, Rias says. Rias exclaims with her pride evident in her voice, causing Michael to chuckle. Very well. I am here to present you a gift of contribution to the peace conference, and as you managed to hold Kokaville to a standstill till the white dragon arrived. Akino looks at Rias with nervousness dripping from her face, while Rias remains emotionless but can one feel malice hidden. Did I touch a sensitive subject? If I did, my apologies, Michael said. It's fine, Lord Michael, Rias replied. We could have a good talk inside the shrine if you wish, Akino says. Sure, it would be the best as people won't be able to eavesdrop on us, Michael says. Inside the shrine, Michael is seen leaning on a pillar while having his focus directed towards the 2 she-devils in front of him. After a few moments, a divine aura invades the shrine as a sword materializes out of thin air as both the she-devils stare at a magnificent sword with awe and caution that the divine aura emits. Behold the holy dragon-slaying sword, Ascalon. The most powerful dragon-slaying weapon next to Samuel's blood. It's in restrained form. But a devil can't wield a holy sword, Rhea says. That's true, however, a part devil can wield this sword in its restrained form. However, wielding this is its unstrained nature will obliterate the part devil wielder in a snap. I believe this will be a fine present, Michael said. We are grateful for this, Lord Michael. Thank you, Akeno says. White-colored wrapper surrounds it as divine aura slowly fades away. This wrapping totally suppresses the aura of the sword, enabling even a pure devil such as yourself, Miss Grimmery, to carry them without the risk of injuring yourself, Michael says. I wholeheartedly thank you for this wonderful present, Lord Michael. Seriously, Rhea says. I hope this will come in handy for you and during any crucial times, and I forgot to mention that Ascalon, as its restrained form, can kill mid-class dragons, which is low-tier ultimate class when fully mastered in the global aura scale. In its unrestrained form, it is capable of slaving Dragon King's beings class, which are fully mastered. I will have that in mind, Lord Michael, Akeno said. It's a shame. I wanted to present this to the Red Dragon Emperor, Issei Hyodo, Michael said in his head. I'll take my leave. With that, Seraphim teleports away in a flash of golden light, making Rias and Akeno sigh simultaneously. Finally, I can breathe. His aura is really powerful, Akeno said. I didn't expect Big Brother to have Lord Michael give me Ascalon, Rias says. Unexpected things do happen, Akeno says. Come on, Akeno. We're going to our mansion, Rias says. Now, we're with Sona. Prez, I did the job you gave me. Sona is seen seated on the couch in her mansion, with a file in her hand while Saji is seen standing next to her. Did you find any suspicious person? Sona says. Nope, Saji replies. This isn't good. Saji hereafter. I prohibit you from taking contracts with humans for a week. Instead, you are to scout the places around your house and the abandonment church repeatedly. Got it? Sure, leave it to me, Prez. Saji does a fake salute, making Sona roll her eyes. You're dismissed. Have a good night, Sona says. Saji then teleports away with a blue magic circle as Tsubaki comes inside the room with her casual clothes on. So, got any clues regarding the killer, Tsubaki says? I'm working on it, Sona replies. That's great. Also, Momo informed me that her contact with our client 43 is completed, Tsubaki says. Devoid of an emotion, Sona looks at Tsubaki straight in her eyes, slightly scaring Tsubaki in the process. That's good. Who is currently in patrol on the western part? It's Tomo who is inspecting that part of the city, Tsubaki says. The eastern part. I believe that's where Issei Kodomine and Mordred live, Sona says. With a small smile, Sona looks at the file thinking of Issei. Tsubaki is scouting there, I believe, Tsubaki says. Tsubasa is scouting there, Tsubaki says. Are everyone in contact? Sona says. They are, Tsubaki replies. Well then, Tsubaki, that's it for today, Sona says. Oh, it's 10 at night. I must be asleep by now. See you tomorrow, Sona. Sleep well, Tsubaki. Flashing a small smile at Sona, Tsubaki leaves the room Sona is in. You can come out now, Sona says. The moment of these words left Destitri's helpless lips, a cute little manicore with a black and blue scales teleports right at Sona's shoulders, causing her to giggle. Tell me, what is Issei doing currently? The cute manicore then leaves her shoulders. With a puff of smoke, turns into a beautifully young girl with ocean blue hair. Master, he is currently asleep with Mordred by his side. Polygamy isn't known uncommon with devils. Maybe I could turn both of them into devils with the help of my mother, Sona says. Have a close eye on them. Your task is to find out his likes and dislikes, Sona says. Sure, Master. May I take my leave? You can. If anything goes wrong, inform me immediately. The girl then bows a bit and then proceeds to teleport away from Sona and having a look of happiness. Soon, my love, we can be together forever and no one, not even my parents or my sister, can take you away from me, Sona says. In an abyss. Wrapped in internal darkness, a loud monstrous screech bringing despair and fear upon the bravest of all echoed throughout the void. It was the screech of something tormented, something twisted beyond mortal standards, as it was cursed in its existence to cycle mindless rampage in isolation, now caged on the edge of the universe in an endless void by a pesky mortal at the cost of said mortal's soul. A pair of red eyes stare at the very void surrounding with it. Such ferocity, the void itself trembles under the pure chaos it holds, for it is something simple yet complex, something beyond the common plane of existence of mortals, something that makes the universe itself tremble, not at fear of destruction, but at the carnage it leaves behind, a reminder of its existence. In the underworld, look ahead. Scene break. In the peaceful city of Lukafed, the citizens of the underworld, ranging from slaves to common devils, are seen tending to their own business, while a huge number of soldiers are seen guarding the city. And the fortress at its heart. The fortress is the home to one of the current devil kings, Sir Zex Lucifer, aka the Crimson Devil, or the First Super Devil. Inside the heavily guarded castle, we can see dozens of maids and butlers tending to various things, while a certain silver-haired maid is seen outside the biggest room, which seems to be the office room of the devil himself. Lord Lucifer, may I enter? Graphius says. After a moment of silence, the voice of the Crimson Satan filled the exhaustion is heard from the exhort. Come in, Sir Zex says. As our favorite maid opens the door, only to be greeted with a sight she will never forget in her life. A futuristic spacious office opens with a huge 85-inch wall-mounted TV displaying a devil journalist talking about various news reports regarding the underworld in the typical office atmosphere, with Sir Zex doing some paperwork as we greeted wide-eyed Grafia Lufage. The newly built office is astonishing, Grafia said. Thank Ajuka for the futuristic design. Although the Elder Devils were irritated due to the futuristic design, as they said, this compromises our old traditions. The Great Lucifer's office was filled with cultural depictions like that of a cult. Sir Zex fakes a laugh, earning a smirk from the stoic maid. I'll keep that in mind, Grafia said. Grafia, are the reports for tomorrow's peace conference ready? Sir Zex said. Yes, they are. The other Devil Kings have reports ready. That's wonderful, Sir Zex said. I also have news from the other one of the clans. They have found out a perfect fiancé for their heiress, and they said the clan wishes to gain your permission over it. Which clan is it? Citri has informed me that Lady Sona has been beaten in the chest by a human in Co-Academy and wishes to marry him, Graphius says. Sir Zex, shocked that the informed, accidentally falls from his chair. A human. Are Lord and Lady Citri willing to reincarnate him into a devil? Sir Zex said. After a huge discussion, Lord Citri has approved of reincarnating him after a talk with the said boy. Does the boy have any idea about this? Also, what about Seraphal? No. The boy seems to be clueless, and Lady Citri decided to inform this to Lady Leviathan after the interrogation with him, as they fear Lady Leviathan may kill him in the name of protection of her favorite little sis. Sir Zex then snickers at the thought of Seraphal choking the boy in the name of protecting Sona. What's the human's name? Sir Zex says. Issei Kodamine, I believe. The moment these words escape her lips, Sir Zex looks at Grafia with wide eyes, then starts to tremble, earning a concerned glance from the silver-haired maid. I think I heard it wrong, Grafia. Tell me name once more. Issei Kodamine. Sir Zex then accidentally falls out of his chair, hitting the floor, knocking him unconscious, earning a gasp from Grafia. Sir Zex! Grafia says, and that is the end of Chapter 10. Chapter 11, third POV. In an unknown city, it was currently raining. Trees were blown away. No, they were indicating the city was abandoned, but then a woman enters the city with an umbrella shadowing her face. The woman mutters something in unknown language, but as if it's reacting to the words, the rain subdues and the ground cracks, opening a revealing staircase. The woman then enters the staircase, which goes around. After a couple of minutes of walking, she arrives at a huge door with two mages guarding it. State your identity, mage says. Leviathan. Suddenly the two mages fall to their knees with the head facing the floor. Forgive my insolence, my lady, the mage says. The mage opens the door, which reveals a gigantic base, with mages and the devils everywhere. Soon the mages and the devils notice her presence, and bows, earning a smirk from the lady as she unfolds her umbrella. My lady, Lord Totsuka, wishes to meet you. Shall I accompany you, my lady? The devil says. No. Go prepare the soldiers. I went ready in a couple of hours. Leviathan says. Yes, my lady. The random devil then runs away frantically. As the lady then proceeds to walk towards a room decorated with various mystic codes and others such, the lady then opens the door only to be met with a man seemingly at his late 30s, wearing an elegant suit with a staff as deep as blue eyes, analyzed the woman with a small smile. Back, Lady Leviathan. I thought you had a good... Welcome back, Lady Leviathan. I hope you had a good journey. I did. Tell me, Tomoki, how is the plan for our little project? Leviathan says. Before, I would like to inform you about our truce is likely to end after the infiltration on the peace conference. I would like to have my promise fulfilled by today, Tomoki says. Leviathan narrows her eyes at the request of Tomoki. I don't have the Lesser Grail with me. It's under the jurisdiction of my superiors, but it will be yours after you have our pact fulfilled, Leviathan says. Excellent. Well then, Lady Leviathan, I wholeheartedly present you my finest mages, who are mainly rogue spellcasters and heretic who are hunted down by the clock tower and the church. I couldn't understand the reason behind your pact with me. Why would you, a prestigious magi from a well-known magus family, help us? You clearly are a well-known person in the clock tower who are allied with the biblical faction, Leviathan says. It's simple. I will make my wish fulfilled at any cost. Once the Lesser Grail is mine, I'll summon the Greater Grail to kickstart the heavens, free ritual, and then the reach of Eptamine of all truth, the root, the Ashika. But I can't tell you that, can I? Tomoki whispers in his head. Now, we're with Issei. Currently, Issei's in his class listening to the class while having deep thought. I can't help but think about what Death said when we were alone in the multiverse, Issei said. Flashback, 1 year after Issei's arrival in the multiverse. In a grass field, Issei is seen leaning down on the grass, looking onto the sky, which has cracks indicating it is an Earth, but a sub-dimension. This so-called training is fucking intense. It helps, but I can't stop thinking about the shit I'm into, Issei says. Suddenly a fist comes crashing into Issei's face, creating a huge crater to the ground, but Issei remains unfazed. Death? Just give me a second to rest, Issei says. I can, but what's the fun in it, Death says, seemingly unknown to where both Death and Life appear next to Issei in their human form. How are you doing, my lord? Do you need any assistance, Life says. I'm fine, Issei replied. You have improved a lot. Mama's proud of you, Death said. Life then slaps the living lights out of Death with irritation visible in her eyes. Shut up. I am not pleased with your seductive attitude towards our lord, Life says. That doesn't mean that you can slap me, bitch, Death says. Okay, fine. We'll settle this later, but do you remember the reason why we are here, Life says? I do, so shut up, Death replies. Issei then looks at the uncomfortable due to the fact that two of the most powerful beings having a verbal fight. Guys? Issei said. Forgive me for disturbing you, Master. Okay, so why are you both here? We wanted to show you why something extraordinary, but then I'll make Drake unconscious so he can't know about it. Death says. Suddenly all three of them exist in the dimension and enter the multiverse. Master, you may have seen the Castle of Origins, but we're going to show you something even more powerful, so brace yourself, Light says. Suddenly all three of them gets thrown towards the center of the multiverse at incredible speeds. What the hell? Issei says. After 30 minutes, the trio slowly decelerates as they reach a void, which exerts extreme pressure upon them, causing Issei to stumble. Don't worry. That won't kill you at first. Security barrier to keep others from reaching here. Suddenly, a huge light blinds Issei, causing him to panic, but then the light slowly disappears, revealing what could have been described by any words on first sight. Magnificent, isn't it? Wow. What the hell is that? Issei said. Allow me to explain. This is the finest creation of primal concept. It is known as the root, the Ashika. It is the anchor of the multiverse, which connects the multiple universes. It also functions as the backup data of all creations. Only the primordial concept or the provised vessel can access the interior of the root. Not even us can, Death says. It was the first creation of the being. The root contains all knowledge about the multiverse, which even we don't know about. The root is ethereal, it cannot be destroyed. It can also be used to observe any part of the multiverse, Life says. Only I can reach it, huh? Cool, Issei says. Not exactly. You see, any being with a soul can't access the interior of the Ashika, but theoretically, even humans can reach the swirl of the root. But only one in Virgintillion can actually reach the swirl without having their soul destroyed. By the chances of being alive after witnessing the swirl is even less than infinite due to the red shadow. Red shadow? Issei says. Issei tilts his head in confusion, only to be met with a scary red silhouette with eyes like that of a beast. That's the red shadow, the last failsafe if a mortal managed to reach the swirl of the root. Don't be scared, he won't kill you. He recognizes you as the vessel. His job is to destroy any mortal that has touched the swirl of root, Death says. Touching the swirl of root will grant the mortals unbelievable power called true magics. There are 5 of them, but the red shadow kills them as soon as they touch the swirl. Only due to their sheer luck has managed to evade the red shadow, Life says. For real? You gotta be kidding me. His name is Kisher Serlet Serwing. He is from the universe 2 million of the natural universe cluster. That old fool managed to gain the second manage, the Kolebnikai. Its domain is the operation of parallel worlds. It allows the user to travel between multiple universes and the ability to draw mana from the parallel universes to an extent. He managed to access partial immortality by specific means. He is the person you wouldn't wish to meet, a huge troll who messes up the other parallel universes for his fun. Yeah, definitely an interesting person. He can't have fucked things up to the extremes, can he? He can fuck things up to the extremes, can he? Issei says. Death groans while life scratches the head of her, while Issei sweat drops. You have no idea. That man fucked up nearly 10,000 timelines in the Nasu-verse for his entertainment. He destroyed about 100 parallel universes, either by mistake or by improper manipulation of the parallel timeline by adding external factor to the original timeline, making it unstable. Would you believe that he destroyed an entire timeline just by saving a person from death? Oh, great. I don't want to meet him ever in my life, Issei says. Human mages in many parallel universes have partial knowledge about the swirl of root. And many try to open the pathways to the Ashika, and few succeed in doing, but all got killed except for Zeltrage. Also, once a successful pathway is used, one cannot use it further, as we should close the pathway, and many users Magus try to use Greater Grail, which is incredible amounts of condensed piranha and mana, but all fail to open a pathway. In short, the Greater Grail cannot be used to open a path to Ashika. Wow. This is too much for my mind to process. How the fuck can I understand? At least vaguely, Issei says. Flashback ends. Now we're back with Mordred. As Issei is seen in his own world, Mordred is seen dozing off in class. Mordred's POV, nothingness. Nothingness encompasses around me till my eyes see. It's like a dream. I'd swear I saw her. It can't be real. I'm hallucinating. That must be it. Finally, I can have a small talk with you. A whisper. It was her voice. I'm sure it was her. The one I despise. The one I hate her. I want to make her disappear. You want me to disappear? How have you fallen, my child? Who the heck are you? Who the heck ate you? This can't be a coincidence. I'm sure I am under a spell or I've been cursed. Don't be so feisty. I don't mean harm, child. Go to hell, you fucking imposter, Mordred says. The moment I said those words, the air around became cold. As the chill down my spine, it's been so long since I felt this sensation. You are not worthy! I tried. I always did, but why did I fail? Why won't she acknowledge me? I just wanted her shadow. I wanted to make her proud. Then why? Why did she cast me away? Tell me why you did. I wanted to inherit the legacy of the Pentadragons to make you proud. Then why didn't you let me be the future of King Camelot? I wanted to be a king who takes care of her subjects with happiness and righteousness. I just wanted my people to flourish, to live a happy life. I wanted to have a good life. As the ruler of prosperous kingdom would know. No, I didn't wish for these. I just wanted to prove my worth to you, to make you proud by inheriting the golden swords of Victorious. But you declared that I was unworthy. All I got was a loud malformed whisper, which I couldn't understand. But the one thing I'm sure of is that the voice belongs to one person I hate most yet admire the most, the ruler of Britannian, king of Camelot, the king of knights. Atora Pentadragon, my mother, the only person I hate the most, the person I killed with my own hands, along with the entire country of men and women just to kill her. Third POV. Time skip. Mordred, wake up. We're still in class, Issei says. Due to Issei calling her, Mordred finds herself awake with tears dripping down her eyes. She is unaware of her tears have stoic look. Why'd you make me wake up? I was taking a nap, Mordred said. Hey, did you have a nightmare? 'Cause you're crying, Issei said. Mordred replied, huh? Mordred then touches her face to find out that Issei was right. She was indeed crying, but then she thought, why am I crying? I couldn't remember anything about having a dream, Mordred said. As if reading her thoughts, Issei then gains a serious look while pretending to listen to her teacher. Maybe her dream was so frightening that the look of her subconscious has surpassed them. Maybe I'll find out soon. Time skip. At the night of day, at one of the hidden rooms of Ko Academy, the three great power gathered together after the Great War. Each were beings of unparalleled power. From the devil faction, Seraphol, Leviathan, and Sir Zex Lucifer and Grathia were present, along with Rias, Sona, and their leverage standing near the exit. From the fallen angels, Azazel and Folly, who were leaning on the wall, while Michael, along with the two exorcists, were present as representatives of heaven. All the leaders were visibly tense at the tension to all air except Azazel, who was just calm. The representative of the dragon faction must be here by now. Ah, he's here. Suddenly, a bright multicolored magic circle appears on the floor, earning a small smirk from Sir Zex, while Seraphol gets excited at the color of the magic circle. From the magic circle, Issei and Mordred arrive in their battle attire, shocking Rias in her parage, along with Sona in her parage, but the one shocked out of all was Sona, who was staring at Issei with wide eyes, unable to comprehend the situation. Greetings, I am Issei Kodamai, the honorary second in command of the Dragon faction. Pleasure to meet you. Mordred Pendragon, the true heir of the Camelot, and mate Issei here is nice to meet ya, Mordred said. Everyone are seen shocked while Vali just grins, and Azazel smirks at Issei. You must be lucky to have a hot chick like her, lucky bastard. Please take a seat, both of you, Sir Zex says. Both Issei and Mordred take a seat, and Azazel claps his hand together. So why don't we get started, Azazel says. First, I'd like to know about the incident with Cocaville, Rias, and Sona. How about you give your report, Sir Zex says. I'd like Lord Lucifer to hear the details. Prepared by both mine and Sona's report. Rias then hands over the file to Sir Zex. We are fortunate that this didn't turn into a war. We are the devils, can't offer to lose our remaining purebloods in a war. I am concerned about the objectives of Cocaville. He stated that he wanted a war, Michael said. That warmonger was really a big trouble. He managed to slip past my vigilance and stole the Excalibur fragments. I should have kept him in my leash. My bad, I can assure you that the fallen angels are not interested in a war. I also had the white dragon stop his nonsense, but the red one did it, Azazel said. The room visibly tenses at the thought of the new Red Dragon Emperor. I'd like to inform you all that I am the new Red Dragon Emperor, Issei says. Issei then summons the boosted gear, causing nearly everyone to gain a shocked look, while Vali just grins even wider. No beings other than humans could inherit the sacred gears, so how did you, Michael said. I hope you all know about the flaw in the system, due to Nohu's death. It is just a matter of sheer luck, Issei says. I would like to research your sacred gear. Would you like to visit the Grigar? Azazel says. Azazel then looks at Issei with a creepy smile, causing everyone in the room to get uncomfortable. Aw, you look like a pedophile, Seraphol replies. At the comment made Seraphol, almost everyone laughs, while even Vali and Graphia have a smile. Lady Leviathan, please reframe your childish tendencies, Graphia said. This is lame. Why don't you all just declare peace already, Mordred thought. My thoughts exactly. Why don't we get this over with, Azazel says. Azazel grins, earning a sign from Michael, while Sir Zex narrows his eyes. I'm afraid it's not that simple. We the devils have some demands, Sir Zex says. The same can be said for us dragons, Issei replied. Since the devil kings and God are dead, we have no purpose on a new war, when we are on the brink of extinction, Michael said. Well, I would like to focus on reviving our species in my sacred gear research, Azazel said. That's our primary concern too, Seraphol replies. We were the ones who stuffed the higher amount of casualties among the royal clans, Sir Zex said. We dragons want peace. Nothing more, nothing less. Also, we would like some territory in the underworld as fee for our armies. As you know, us dragons are one of the strongest species, and we are need of dragon apples, which grow exceptionally on the underworld. Sure, your demands are reasonable, Sir Zex said. We can provide our sacred gear tracking system and our medical facilities, but we demand to know the evil system pieces in and how it functions, Michael says. We can agree to that, Sir Zex said. We can share our sacred gear research and the new artificial sacred gear in return for the reincarnation system in some territory in the underworld. Also, we have some Longinus users on our side. Sure, but, Seraphol says, we request the armies of the dragons and help in dealing stray devils will offer some territory as well as information on the reincarnation system of the evil pieces, Sir Zex said. I agree. For the Alliance, we dragons support this proposal, Issei said. We agree for the Alliance, Michael said. No objection on our side. Devils are the Alliance, Sir Zex said. Then the peace treaty is sealed, henceforth we dragons shall offer our military support, Issei says. Now, I'd like to know the thoughts of the white and the red one, Azazel said. I just want to fight strong opponents, that's all I wish, Vali says. Vali just stares nonchalantly, earning a couple of worried glances while Azazel just laughs. You don't need a war to have a spar, Vali. I want peace, Issei says. That's it now, officially the alliance is formed. Suddenly everyone except Issei, Mordred, Vali, Graphia, Irina, Saji, Zenobia, Kiba faction leaders are seemingly freezed in time. What happened? Kiba said. A frown then makes it lay towards Zerzex's face. It seems that time has stopped. What could have caused this? Forbidden Balor view, Issei said. Rias's bishop has it. He must have been kidnapped by the intruders. How is it possible? Gasper is dead, Zerzex said. For once, the laid-back personality of Azazel changed into a serious tone. Vitra's power must have saved this guy while your holy sword saved your swordsman. Suddenly, about 1,000 magicians arrived from a big teleportation circle. It looks like we are concerned and our troops are being teleported away, Zerzex said. And that is the end of Chapter 11. Chapter 12, third POV. Impossible. I have that sacred in my house. That isn't good. Not at all, Issei thought to himself. Our troops are being teleported away. This is bad, Zerzex said. In the skies of Ko, the peaceful atmosphere was replaced by a huge magic circle through which numerous magicians entered the battlefield, forced teleporting and killing the troops frozen in time. We must rescue Rias's bishop if this continues. He is currently in the balance breaker state of his sacred gear. They might force him to even freeze us, Azazel says. Rias's bishop is dead. He was found without his eyes, possibly exorcised, Azazel. This is someone else's doing, Zerzex said. Everyone except Issei and Mordred look at Zerzex with wide eyes. This is troublesome indeed, Michael says. Why don't we just kill the mages? Volley said. Go ahead if you can, rival, Issei said. Volley then lets out a huge grin and then proceeds to fly towards the mages with his divine dividing. Balance breaker, Volley says. Vanishing dragon, balance breaker, Albion says. Azure-colored light invades the battlefield, stunning the mages. Finding the opportunity, Volley then incinerates about 6 magi near him with a white beam. In retaliation, the other mages fire numerous spells of magic and witchcraft, which disappears into the thin air, approaches Volley. Divide, 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 Albion says. With Issei, scene break, Issei looks at Volley with a smirk, knowing that his rival isn't pathetic, while the faction leaders having discussed it between themselves. Looks like he enjoys his time, Issei says. Kiba, Zenobia, if you try and find anything about the person using Balor View, Zerzex said. My pleasure helping you find, Lord Lucifer. Both Kiba and Zenobia rush towards the battlefield with weapons drawn out. Irina, help them find this if you can, Michael says. In the name of Lord Michael, I will do Lord Michael's bidding. Issei, I'm going to kill some pests. Want to join me, Mordred said. Nah, I'll stay here, but do enjoy your party, Issei says. I will, Mordred replied. Grinning like a madman, Mordred then summons her armor, and then sword rushing to kill some unfortunate magi's. Are you sure she'll be fine, Zerzex said. She will be, although I can't say for the mages, Issei said. Magus manages to sneak behind Mordred and tries to punch her in the face, but gets stabbed at his heart and dies instantly. I'm done playing. Time to get serious. She's gone serious. Nice. Dense red sparks fly everywhere from Clarinet, causing some of them leaders to raise eyebrows in interest, while others nearby feel a shiver down their spine. Feeling an powerful aura nearby, the feeling of dread overcame their mind as huge quantities of mana were accumulating around their eyes, scaring Sanji while gaining the interest of Volley, who was far away. Clarent, Mordred says. As she whispers those words, her helmet automatically detaches from her, causing her mana burst to shock everybody there except Issei, while the Magi's near tremble at the might of her sword, which emits violent red sparks. This is her hatred for King Arthur, her mother, never ending, nor faltering when she cuts down her enemies in a single slash of her past, her hatred. Blood Arthur, Mordred says. A huge beam of condensed demonic energy erupts from her sword, which then reflects towards the mages, annihilating all of them on the battlefield. The look of terror, surprise, disbelief, and shock. How the heck do they keep spawning? Every time I kill one, another one replaces them, Mordred says. Impressive. That was a mid-tier Satan-class attack, Zerzex said. Cheats. I fucking hate them, Azazel says. Whispers to nobody, which gets unnoticed by most of them except Issei, who cracks a small smile at his antics. Grafia, did you find anything about the magic circles? Zerzex said. The magic circle is connected by someone inside the barrier. Surely we have been betrayed, Grafia says. This isn't good. We have to find the one responsible for this, Michael says. A huge frown makes its way towards nearly everyone except Issei, who merely smirks at Volley, who is fighting a group of witches. Whoever broke into my house and stole Balor View is dead, Issei says. Incoming, 9 o'clock, Zerzex replies. The moment Zerzex, an explosion takes place somewhere the faction leaders, Issei and Frozen 1. are. Darling, I must help him, Mordred said. The smoke clears while revealing a multicolored barrier encasing everyone, which is seen supported by 3 great factions, leaders along with Serafal. We have an uninvited guest, Gravia says. A yellowish magic circle identical from the one which Magi arrive appears next to Zex from it. A woman seemingly at her late 20s with double D cup assets, wearing that what seems revealing about tip, appears from the magic circle, but a strange thing in her eyes which seem to radiate power. The 3 great powers have casted a barrier, adorable and pathetic. Caterhal Leviathan, great daughter of the first Devil King Leviathan. What do you want, Sir Zex says. Exactly the opposite of what you want. Chaos, Cathria says. Cathria flashes her author in an attempt to scare the young devils, but then a sinister chuckle echoes through his air, scaring everyone except a few. Chaos. What is chaos? Issei says. Issei then, with his eyes shadowed, asks a calm, soothing voice, which betrays no emotions, unnerving everyone, greatly making the descendant of Leviathan smirk. Who exactly are you, young man? You seem to be strong. I am strong, Issei says. Ha! It's funny of you, Cathria, to interrupt the peace conference in trying to take all of us down. If I can take down one of the 3 great powers, then I will give up my life for the true Satans to rule the world, Cathria says. Azazel then burst out laughing, earning a cold glare from Cathria. Don't underestimate us. You are nothing compared to your great-grandfather. He'll be ashamed of you tarnishing your clan's name. You're nothing but a mere low-tier ultimate-class being, Azazel says. Cathria, don't do this. Do you want your life to be peacefully? Don't you want to live your life peacefully? We used to be friends, Serafal said. Looking at Serafal, who is saddened smile, Cathria scowls and then shouts at her. You have no right to talk. Sarah, it's your fault that I'm like this. I was supposed to be the one to inherit Leviathan's lineage, not some low-class sea tree. Today I will kill you and claim what's mine, Cathria says. Serafal smiles, falters an emotionless stare, and makes her way towards her. Can I take her one-on-one? Azazel says. Sure, Serafal replies. What can you do, old bastard? I'll kill you, fallen scum, after I got away the new toy to check. Suddenly, her eyes then changes into something different, emitting deadly aura, startling the faction leaders, while Azazel and Issei have their eyes open, unable to believe what they had witnessed. Galti, I will fucking rip your eyes out and claim what's mine, bitch, Issei says. Leave this to me, I'll face her. Amidst the sky, both Azazel and Catril live with their 12 and 6 wings out, and are seen having intense stare down, every muscle prepared to react the moment opponent's attacks. Ladies first, I guess, Azazel replies. You'll regret that, crow, Cathria says. Says the bat, Azazel replies. With a shit-eating grin, Azazel taunts his foe, earning an ice-cold glare from Cathria. I'll go first. Azazel unfurls his wings and proceeds to throw numerous light projectiles at Cathria, but the projectiles abruptly comes to a stop, frozen mid-air. Smart. I'll just overclock your stolen sacred gear until you can't use it anymore. Pretty simple, Azazel says. With a snap from his fingers, about 1,000 light projectiles at very high speeds change towards him. Cathriel desperately tries to stop them with Forbidden Valor View, but a dozen of the projectile hits her, creating a small explosion, but then smoke goes off, revealing a furious Catril with a magic guard raised split second before the projectiles could reach her. Go fuck yourself, Catril, Catril replies. A furious Catril then raises a demonic pulse of compressed water at Azazel, who single-handedly evades, then fires a light spear, which gets deflected by Catria. You act like a cliche villain from animes where the villain curses the hero and then dies. Pathetic, Azazel says. I won't let you underestimate me, my Leviathan heritage. I will kill you here and now, Catralver says. Don't keep boasting about yourself. Talk less. Fight like a crazed dragon, Issei says. Well said, Drake says. Numerous spears made out of water materialize out of thin air and charges towards Azazel, who summons a sword made out of light, then proceeded to deflect them. The water spheres blast upon impact, with his sword forcing him back, but Azazel retaliates by summoning a huge light sphere, which his own launching its sword at the Mao descendant, who managed to conjure a magic shield to protect her in time. Not bad for a low-tier ultimate class, but pathetic for a devil descendant, Azazel says. Gritting her teeth, the Leviathan descendant creates about hundreds of ice sharpens from thin air, and Azazel rushes towards him. But then, the fallen leader appears behind her and slams his fist into her gut, with his holy aura causing her let out a scream and fall into the ground, creating a crater. Impossible. I am the true heir of the Devil King Leviathan. How can I be reduced to such pathetic state by a mere fallen? No, I refuse to accept this. I will kill you. I swear on the dead Devil Kings, Cutros says. Pathetic. You are a manipulation of water and ice nowhere near your great-grandfathers or your grandfathers. You're the weakest Leviathan. I pity you, Azazel says. Suddenly, the Leviathan descendant lets out a scowl, then an ocean blue aura surrounds her, earning a chuckle from Azazel. I'll make you take back those words, Castiel said. Water then surrounds Catriel by creating a huge 20-meter torrent of water, which increases gradually. Still, it's just mid-clear ultimate class and power, Zazel says. Behold, the greatest spell of the Leviathans, and drown in despair I shall kill you, sea of serpent of the end. The oceanic blue aura suddenly disappears, confusing everyone but then Issei, as Zazel Serzex burst out laughing. You're pathetic. You wasn't able to fully use the true power of the Leviathan. You're a disgrace, Issei says. Issei yells, making a Catriel a tick, where I guess she musters her coldest glare at who shrugs it off. Ha! You're hilarious! You must be kidding, Azazel says. From afar, Mordred is seen killing many magi looking at the battle between Azazel and Catriel in the air. Insolent, well, foolishly arrogant when you clearly don't have the right to be arrogant, Mordred said. Catriel, unable to contain her fury any longer, lets out a loud-pitched scream, her eyes the glow bright purple, while Azazel raised his eyebrows a bit. Unknown to the others, grits his teeth pissed at Catriel for stealing Balorview from his house. Catriel. Balance break. Her eyes starts to glow an airy purple earring. Grin from Azazel, who throws a light spear, which disappears in a thin air moment it reaches Catriel. You've achieved the balance breaker for Forbidden Balorview. Are you the one who killed Gasper? Shame that I have to kill you. I'd have fun researching your sacred gear, Forbidden Invade Balorview the Beast. The balance breaker of Balorview allows you to control time and darkness in your surroundings. It's powerful ability indeed. I did not kill the vermin. I got this as a mere gift, Catriel said. From someone. Now die! Suddenly a dark aura surrounds Catriel, then occluded darkness turns Catriel into a 5-meter tall monster with dragon head, making Issei grin like a madman. Didn't expect this. You had some cards up your sleeve, but still a high-tier ultimate class. You're still a child compared to me, Azazel says. The monster roars and unleashes a torrent of dark flames, to which Azazel responds by conjuring a holy barrier. Countering the flames, but the Catriel slams her newly formed tail at Azazel, throwing him off guard, but then Azazel retaliates by throwing a huge orb of concentrated holy energy, earning a scream from Catriel as it collides with her. Die, bastard! I'm done playing, Azazel replies. An eerie bluish flame manifests on the fallen leader's palm, which gains the look of curiosity and shock from the others who are witnessing the battle. Divine Azure Flame of Eradication. The flame in his palm then turns into a steam of holy fire, which rushes toward Catriel in a blink of eye, creating a huge explosion. As the smoke clears, a heavily burned and battered Catriel is found lying unconscious in a huge crater with her clothes torn in different places. She's alive. You can interrogate her. I don't care, Azazel says. With a shrug, Azazel lands on the ground while Serzex force teleports to Catriel, who knows where, but teleporting a faint flash of light is seen. Thank you, Azazel, for keeping her alive. I want to interrogate her about the death of Gasper Volatine in the Balorview, Serzex said. Too bad for them since I extracted her sacred gear just now, Issei said. You should be aware that she will not die, but she must have lost a good portion of her life force, Drake said. I am aware, Issei said. Finally, one of the old Satan faction's leaders have been caught, Michael says. Leave this to me. Your magic girl Leviathan will make her pay with a twinkle, Seraphal says. Suddenly the time freezes disappears as the once frozen Sona, Rias, and her Parad look at the now heavily damaged Co-Academy with wide eyes. What is the meaning of this? Sona says. Don't be like that, Sona. Your sister will take care of this. With a twinkle, Seraphal replied. Are you cosplaying the Magic Girl Milky Spiral 7? Mordred said. The moment these words left the Penetron lips, Sona, Rias, and her Paraj look at her with wide eyes while Azazel, Serzex, Issei, and Graphia smile nervously. Confused by the sudden reaction of the others, Mordred tilts her head on only to be met with Seraphal just centimeters away from her, giving her a noticeable glint on her eyes and a wide smile creeping out of her bit. You have watched Miracle Glow Leviathan show? Seraphal says. Yes, I have, Mordred said. She's doomed, Serzex replied. In a swift moment, Seraphal tackles Mordred into a hug, causing them to lose their balance and fall down onto the floor. Yay, I got a new friend. Say, can we have a nice dinner together and have some girl-to-girl action, Serafel said. Mordred replies, if you wish, we can have a hot threesome between your mate and me. Wouldn't that be great? He's quite handsome, Serafel said. Mordred then blushes a 50 shades of red, while Serafel keeps on her nuzzling her hair, earning a few looks of pity with everyone except Sona, who is seen in a similar state as Mordred, and Issei, who is seen motionless, unable to process the words of the Devil King. And the strongest Red Dragon Emperor has finally created a harem of beautiful women, Drake said. I think you have broken them, Lady Leviathan, Gravia says. Lucky bastard, Azazel replies. No fair. The new student first got engaged with the president, now he's getting her big sister, Saji says. As the poor bastard, aka Saji, weeps to himself, causing misfortune to Issei's skill on attracting women, but unknown voice replies to him in his mind. Powerful dragons tend to attract many mates and foes. The way you are right now, even a low-class dragon will pummel you. Becoming strong hatchling, that is your only choice. Hello? Who's there? Am I hallucinating? The voice then vanishes without a trace of them, making believe that it was hallucinating. Something's wrong, Azazel said. Suddenly a huge magic blast hits Azazel, pummeling him while creating a huge shockwave. I must have been getting old if you can hit me, Volley. Azazel says. The smoke dissipates, revealing an unharmed Azazel, and Volley flying above Azazel in his balance breaker. Sorry, Azazel. Things look better on this side, Volley said. Volley, so it's you who betrayed us. I did expect this, Issei says. I should have kept you in check, Azazel replies. Issei Hyodo. My arch rival, prepare yourself for your glorious battle to the death, Volley says. And that is the end of chapter 12. And that is where we're going to stop for now. Once again, thank you to Rob Block, Rob the King, Jorge Alvarez / George Alvarez, Atomic Warlord 58 Toner, and Lachlan Yates for becoming a balance breaker. Thank you so much for you became the highest membership tier. That is literally the highest membership tier. It's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the support. I cannot thank you enough. What if Issei awakened the boosted gear early will be a whole entire movie segment, and yes, I am working on it at the moment. What if Naruto betrayed, and what if Goku was the god of destruction will be released as well very, very soon. What if Goku was the god of destruction part 3 on Ampalpowski, and what if Naruto was betrayed part 1, that is an hour-long special, will be released soon as well. Thank you so much for the support. It's been absolutely amazing. Truly is a blessing I'm able to have this community. I cannot thank you enough. It truly is a dream. If you guys I want to know something. Do you guys want to see different videos on my other channels, assuming just talking about anime in general? You know what I mean? Just hear me talk about something. Because if you're interested in that, it'll either be on Ampalpowski or Fallen DxD as of right now. So please subscribe to those channels. They will be down in the description below. Without further ado, Spartanic Arts DxD out. Remember, let's try to hit 1,000 likes. All right, peace out.